If there's one thing I can say for certain about myself, besides being British and enjoying a nice cup of coffee in the morning, is that I am a big Sonic fan. So much so that I went out and bought nearly every Sonic Game Gear title I could find. So you know I'm not messing around. And don't get me started on playing them. Yeah, there are some that I'd rather wish I didn't, but for what they're worth, I enjoyed the vast majority of Sonic's outings. Yes, even that one. Which one? Doesn't matter. Most get cast aside anyway by critics and later put on golden pedestals by the fans years later. And over the years, I have finished nearly every title I could get my hands on, and even replayed them countlessly to affirm my appreciation for the series. But there is one thing I almost always neglect to do. Until now. Get every A and S rank. But some of you may not know what I'm talking about, so give me the opportunity to pad this video out. Introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, the ranking system was a means of replay value. It was no longer just about finishing the stage and moving to the next stage to make Eggman eat your dust. Instead, finishing a stage with a set score nets you a rank from E to A. Sonic Adventure before introduced the emblems, which was a token of completion, and getting them all meant a cool reward. You get to play as Metal Sonic! Adventure 2 not only kept the emblems, but held hostage a few emblems unless you perfected every stage and mission with a magenta-coloured A rank. Since Sonic Adventure 2, the ranks were made a staple in the franchise, only changing once. From Sonic Adventure 2 through Shadow the Hedgehog, it had E to A, and later in Sonic 2006 to now, D through S. A few games differed from this with their own unique ranks, but the method is the same. Get good, get high marks. While the emblems were cast out in later titles and replaced with collecting medals and later red rings, the ranks remained, still encouraging you to do better. Some could argue that this system needlessly pads the game out longer to make up for its short length. I would argue that it adds to the game because it's not just about playing the game, but being good at it. We've all had those moments where a few mistakes cost us dearly down the line and hang over us all the while thinking, I could do better. The ranks provide that. It's a confirmation of your skills. Yeah, it may be a digital hand clap, but if football fans can get excited about a game they're not participating in, then I'm allowed to get excited about this. So I decided to get the highest ranks possible in the mainline Sonic games that have them, starting with Sonic Generations. Yeah, I can see all your faces. I just went on about how Sonic Adventure 2 introduced the concept of the ranking system, and yet I'm starting with a game that came out 10 years later. Which also came out 10 years ago. I am old! Besides that, the reason why I'm starting with Generations is that it is the easiest game to get all S ranks on. For the most part, and I'll get to that in a minute. Even if you're a young fan new to the series, you can easily get an S rank on your first try, especially in the first half of the game. But from then on, it's a steady curve that balances its difficulty to where Planet Wisp will seem a little daunting. This is because of the newer gimmicks introduced in Sonic Adventure onwards that you need to learn in order to finish the stage, let alone get an S rank. But it's more than just 9 zones with 2 acts. There's also 3 rival battles, each with a hard mode, 4 boss battles with a hard mode, and 10 missions per zone, 5 for classic and 5 for modern. Totaling 90 missions, for a grand total of 122 S ranks. And yes, I got every single one of them. But it wasn't as easy as I thought it would have been. Yes, as I said, it is very easy to get the S ranks up until the latter half of the game, where the challenge bumps up with light dashes and wall jumps. Plus, I decided to challenge myself and not use a single skill that would have helped me with the latter half of the game and the missions. But it may or may not have helped anyway, because unlike previous games that rely solely on score, Generations has a perfect bonus. Yes, even if you get a high score and fill that gauge to burst, you still won't get an S rank unless you finish the level without dying. So perfect bonus is the perfect word for it. But even if you didn't die once, you still won't get the S rank because you took too damn long. So not only do you need to finish the stage as fast as possible, collect as many rings without getting hit, but also not die once. Meaning you have to finish the stage in one go for the perfect bonus. But that's just the main stages and the battles, because the 90 missions you have to do are all time trials! That sounds easier, but all the missions except for the 18 doppelganger missions have strict quotas and gimmicks from digging for gold coins, finding SPO and hitting the right switches. Missing the time goal will lower the rank reward at the end, and failures don't contribute to it. Just finish the level as fast as you can. Which is why I excluded the doppelganger missions, as they are just replaying the stage against the ghost. This can go either way, as the stages are pretty easy to speed through without the pesky perfect bonus and score gauge. But every failure costs you time, so you're still desperately trying to beat the stage as perfectly as possible for an S rank. And do you want to know what you get for getting all 122 S ranks in this game? Nothing! You get nothing for getting the highest ranks possible in this game. Oh sure, you get an achievement for getting the S ranks on the main stages, and a few additional achievements just for finishing the missions and boss battles, but nothing for all that effort and sweat and broken bombs to see that golden S on your screen. And because I want to get some pride out of this, here's what I thought were the 7 hardest S ranks to get in Sonic Generations. Egg Dragoon, hard mode. Okay, let me get this out of the way, this boss is not that hard. Hard mode is a lie. Hard mode just means more hits needed to beat them, as well as a different attack pattern. Egg Dragoon does both, as you have to be very quick and very lucky to get a single hit in. Otherwise, you're just waiting for him to slam his wings down so you can wall jump to him. And this could go on for minutes, not even giving you a chance. As for the rails, forget them. You may get to hit him from there, but for whatever reason, I kept falling off. And I swear to Chaos, this is the only S rank I missed out on for being too slow. I swear, old Eggbutt drew this battle out deliberately just to mess with me personally. And I know some of you are pointing towards the time meter, but come on. It's just booting up to the thing and dodging the easily avoidable homing shot! I know, shut up! Planet Wisp Act 2 Mission 1, Doppelganger Race. Not only is this the longest stage in the game, it is also the worst stage in the game. Originally, I was going to put the main stage on this list, but at least I could afford a mistake or two and still get an S rank. Here, no such luck, as every mistake will cost you time, and for a level this long, you cannot screw up or fail, otherwise it's a restart. The amount of restarts I have for this challenge is staggering, something that will become more apparent later on. I was trying to save every second I could, just scraping milliseconds off my time in the beginning. But no, the main construction tower is where you need to use all your skills just to get to the end. Time jumps, wall jumps, bagnet placement, giant saw blades, the minecart, and if you fall, that's time wasted to get back up, so you might as well restart. And fuck this early death pit shortly after you get there. Plus, that last Rocket Wisp Marathon is tedious at best, as you have to watch and wait for it to break through the barriers, which wastes more time. After all that, I made it and I got a B rank, then an A, and after many failed starts later, I got that S. Eggman can keep Planet Wisp. Rooftop Run Act 1, Mission 1, High Rise Balloon Climb. Oh look, a classic Sonic mission on my favourite stage. I hope this is something fast paced and you grab balloons and slowly rise to the top. Ugh. This is just torture, as you're at the whim of the slow speed the balloons are rising rather than your own. Oh, but if you are really good, you can bounce off the top of the balloon and save some time. Or to fall off and crack your head. It's so painful to stand and wait for the balloon to appear just to grab and rise to the goal. It's like waiting for bubbles underwater. But at least then it was life and death. Did I mention there are also badniks ready to ruin your run? Because there is, especially at the end where there's a line of cannons that you have to avoid while on the balloon. Not fun. These balloons are not fun at all. Speed Highway Act 2 Mission 5, SBO Master of Camouflage. The aim is to not be seen, SBO, so how about not constantly appearing and throwing sharp bits of metal at me? This shouldn't be hard. Hit the light to stun SBO, hit him and move on. Rinse and repeat until the end. This should be a walk in the park, but no, everything gets in the way. Even the light switches that you will, no ifs or buts, you will hit accidentally every time you want to hit something or someone else. If that's not enough, SBO can teleport to the other side of the room, meaning you have to keep hitting the light switch until you flash him, so you better hope you get him on the first cycle. And if that's not enough, the final area adds collapsible platforms that get in your way, and if you mess up on the platforming after you blind SBO, you have to start all over again. I got to this point several times, but I kept messing up because every time I wanted to hold an attack away, I ended up hitting the light. Also, while trying to attack SBO, I hit the light again, or I fall off the platform, forcing me to restart. And most of my retries were solely on the first two areas because of the lights getting in the way. SBO, you fail as a ninja. Planet Wisp Act 2 Mission 5, Orange Rocket Blast Off. Blast up the rectum of the whoever designed this challenge. What's weird is that Classic Sonic doesn't have a pink spike challenge, which I found unfair. The aim of this one is to not stop at all. You have to know where the orange wisp is and quickly blast off and hit every single barrier on the way up, all the while avoiding bandits and missiles. It's just going up. That's it. But no, it cannot be that simple because sometimes there are buttons on the ceiling that you have to blast into. Very rarely can you boost left or right without making a mistake and have to backtrack. And oh, the final set of barriers move back and forth, and the top one has the goal ring on top of it. Meaning you could easily miss that and land on a platform above that you can't jump down from, meaning you have to circle back around and try again. So at that point you might as well restart. The only way I managed to beat this with an S rank is to get the right flow and rhythm. Jump here, hold an attack down, jump over, grab the wrist, blast off while airborne. I almost had it at the end several times, but failed. At last, I got it by a fluke. It is pure luck if you get the gold ring at the end. And again, Eggman, you can have the planet. I don't care anymore. Rooftop Run Act 2 Mission 5, Vector Pick Up the Beat. I was not looking forward to this one. At all. I dread this as much as the escort mission with Sheila in Spyro 3. Easily the most mundane challenge of the whole game. What do? You play tennis with a music note stolen from Mario Galaxy. Back and forth, then it changes color and gets faster. Oh, and sometimes it goes into the air, meaning you have to wait for it to hit it back. This is it! This is the challenge! You might be thinking, oh, this looks easy! It's just using a home attack to hit it back! And yeah, it is, if you're playing casually. But even then, it's a pin in the crock. To get the S rank, you have to be ready with the quickest responses to hit it back just as soon as Vector does. Besides the airborne hits, which sometimes don't even connect. How did I miss? I was right in there! Someone give me a rubber band so I can stop this dick from singing. City Escape Act 1 Mission 5, Rite of Spring. Yes, there is a challenge worse than Vector's beat business, and it's this one, where I had to restart over 20 times just to finish. Again, it shouldn't be hard. Just land on the springs and bounce to the next area until you get to the goal. But good God, did this challenge test my patience. Sometimes it wasn't just the springs. Maybe it was a mistimed jump that dropped me to where I didn't want to go. Or maybe it was the gun mechs that got in the way. Or maybe it's this fucking death pit that you cannot be prepared for. Or it's this death pit where you'll fall through the platform. And oh, if you do prepare for that jump, the pillar moves, meaning go f yourself. Thank Chaos for the 10-second timer, because I swear I would have thrown my controller for the TV if I had to do that all over again. And those were the hardest S ranks to get in this game. At least in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe Amy Topsy-Turvy in Sky Century is someone's nemesis. Honorable mentions go to Four-Way Cannon in Crisis City, Trick Island and Seaside Hill, and Action Master and Planet Wisp. Now if you excuse me, I need to go back another decade.